Welcome to Woke Mental Wellness presents Windy City Nihilism. This is a 12 Inner Demons homebrew campaign. Cinziak plays Romero Marcus, the targeted. Imris plays Janessa Wallace, the human street medic. Blue plays Ruin, the social media vampire demon. And Cassie is the storyteller, playing the NPCs and the rest of the world. Windy City Nihilism is an urban horror podcast series. We do not shy away from touchy topics in the politics of horror, mental health, games, and life as a person of targeted identities. Series-wide content warnings include violence, manipulation, state surveillance, police, player conflict, gentrification, racism, unwanted romantic gestures, anti-Blackness, sexism, tension, body paralysis, trauma, monstrous forms, complicated relationships, sex, toxic work environments, death, hopelessness, blood, Eldritch horror, colonization, and existential crisis and dread. Please take care of yourself as you listen. And remember, hope and resistance do best in community. Welcome back to Woke Mental Wellness presents Windy City Nihilism, a story about social change, hope, and despair. Ruin. Romero, you were right outside Romero's job, I believe.
We were. I think Romero left off being like, what are you and what the fuck is going on? Right?
Indeed, we did. And I think he would continue it, or they would continue it. If this isn't a dream, let me just ask, are you the one who bit me? Because that was rude.
No, biting isn't my thing at all. Sorry. Somebody else, but I'm sure that won't be the last time that you're gonna see them. Which kind of sucks, honestly. Not just for you, for all of us.
See who? Do you know what's going on over here? Do you have something that you want to explain?
I would. But don't you? They look back at the building, having readjusted their glasses. They're like, aren't you late?
I got 15 whole minutes. Listen. I have 15 whole minutes and the time is ticking. What's going on over here?
15 minutes. Okay. Something about you is really yummy to demons, and the big kahuna is coming to rock your shit, my shit, everybody's shit in the area.
I mean, I don't know what else I taste like other than stress and broken dreams. Why are we out here?
That's exactly why they want you, actually.
Right, that was a joke. We were supposed to chuckle and keep it moving, on this
it was
hot
funny.
as hell summer day. But okay.
It was funny, but it's true.
Wow. All right.
Look. I got shit to do, but for now, I'm Ruin. We'll be in touch. Matter of fact, give me your phone. I'll give you my number. Ruin holds up their phone to Romero's, and Romero would see a little zap between the both of their phones, a little bright blue zap, and then Romero's phone would light up, and the new contact. And it says Ruin in all caps. Their number is in some script that is glitching out on the screen, I feel like. And the profile picture is Ruin with a thumbs up and winking. And it's a GIF.
What kind of Gen Z alt culture name is this? You know what? Right. All right, cool. Ruin? Is that your name? Is that what I'm gonna call you when I see you in these streets? Ruin?
Yes, that's what everybody calls me.
All right, you know what? Work. It just saves the contact.
I think it'd be best advice to keep this little meeting between us,
Who am I telling? Who?
How much time do you have?
Currently 10 minutes. Who am I telling?
No. I mean, your time, they manifest a little clock, ticking, a little pocket watch, going back and forth. Time, honey, time.
Child, I don't know. It's under a Band-Aid. If you can see me, you can see that.
Can I use my little dark power, my to manipulate object, and just like to lift up the bandage, like, all right, your asses. Just like whip a finger. Let me see this shit.
You can. Romero, I'm gonna let you tell me the difficulty for Ruin to reach over, grab your hand, and take your bandage off.
I would say like a difficulty of 2.
So hard. That's so easy. Okay, roll.
Well, I mean, like the thing
me.
is, like, if this is a literal demon.
Okay, so Ruin,
Fair.
roll me a TN2 test. So you get 3. Do you have to spend grip for this kind of physical interaction, or no? I think you might be.
It's a quick action. It says I can focus to interact and move small objects in the real world. The demon is injured or has their concentration broken. No, it doesn't say anything about spending grip for this one.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, just roll me a TN2.
What are you doing? Unhand me.
Just hold on a second. Just let me take a look at this.
Put my hand down. At least you can just
hold
ask me
on,
to
hold
take a
on,
look.
hold
What
on.
are we doing over here?
I rolled a 6 and 2 4s.
You see under the bandage is a raised, intricate, beautiful looking clock that is now just embedded into Romero's flesh, and it's currently at 1. So you would know that starting today, like tomorrow it'll move to 2. So it's not like Romero's been sitting on this for days on end, which is a good thing. But you also know that it seems like at kind of every other number, it seems like it's kind of got a little extra flourish to it. And so you would know that Romero's got 12 days. You all have 12 days before whichever archdemon is trying to birth itself into the world through Romero's deep feelings of something, and deep traumas of, well, something. You don't know them, so you don't know. 12 days.
I think Ruin is very much like a grinning, like always kind of smiling or smirking individual. But I think like looking at the clock, their like smirk kind of falls a little bit, and they're like, huh. And they'll let go of Romero's hand and will say, you must have just found this out. Okay. Shit.
Just found out what?
That you're the target, that you have 12 days until
You know what?
this.
Okay, here, listen. Why don't we just talk about this during my lunch break? Can you meet me at can you meet like Maggiano's at like 12:30? Because like this meeting's in 5 minutes. I gotta go.
Ruin like blinks, like slow blinks, and they're like, okay.
This human is not understanding the dire nature of this situation.
This human is not fucking getting it. Like,
It is not clicking, Steven.
It is not clicking. I feel like I want to be able to. I have this monstrous influence called scare, but my intention is not to scare Romero, but to pass along the emotion of like the gravity of the situation. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And not even to like influence them with it, but just to share it. So like, look, I can't put into words how real this shit is.
Here's what I'm gonna ask. Given that Romero has already pulled away and is already trying to like leave, how would you feel about waiting to try and do that at lunch?
I like that idea. Ruin will put their hands up and they'll like step away and they're like, all right, 12 days. This little job of yours might not even be here tomorrow.
Welcome to the nature of nonprofit.
Ruin laughs. They straight up cackle. Like, okay, you ate with that one. You ate with that one, yeah, for sure. I've heard. They'll step onto, like, I think maybe like a tree is in the way, and that's like kind of casting a shadow on the street, and they'll step like into the middle of the street within that shadow, and Romero would see like their entire body would disappear within that shadow, but their eyes, and they're like, see you at lunch.
Child, this is the kind of stuff that these old people like to plead the blood over. What is this?
Romero would be me blue in this situation.
Romero, the way that Ruin tells you, okay, I'll see you at lunch, that Ruin's words when you're putting this off sound eerily like, all right, your funeral.
Very foreboding.
That's exactly how Ruin said it too. Like, hey, I got a place to go either way. So.
Janessa, you have set up the room and your kids are arriving. What are you doing? How are you helping out with the crafting? There are, I believe there's 4 stations set up. You tell me what crafts are set up and which ones you are overseeing.
Yeah, so I am over at the kind of a fabric collage station. So working with like different fabrics to like distress or like make patchwork objects, whether that's like jackets or bags or anything, basically like cutting out scrap. I don't know, it's like Mod Podging and stuff like that. So that's where I'm set up. Been working with the kids to make either bags or jackets using Mod Podge and fabric. So I'm like pulling out the projects that the kids have already been working on that have been drying and setting them out in their areas so that they can just come back to their table and continue working on their projects.
Nice. As the day is going on and, you hear the kids talking and, some of the other folks in the building coming in and out, even when the parents were dropping folks off, it seems like everybody is talking about the celestial monies popping up and all the new luxury construction. You just keep hearing bits. You hear kids talking about how their playgrounds that they go to before program were roped off, and community gardens just they can't get into anymore. They usually, pick berries on the way, or they water their family's plot in the garden before heading out, the older kids. You hear this all day.
I think probably at whatever break we have for like whether it's a snack or lunch, I'm gonna kind of take Joanne aside and just be like, girl, what is going on? Like, we were just did all this just happen overnight? Like, what is going on?
Man, listen, I've been in the city my whole life, and I don't know that I have ever seen this much bougie bullshit moving in this fast. It's usually like 1 or 2, but I mean, some of these kids, they don't even live in the same neighborhood. Like, we serve like 3 different neighborhoods in here, and all of them.
Yeah, like, there's a celestial money across the street that was not here yesterday.
Who the hell got money for celestials? Like, I don't need no frappuccino. Like, what on earth? And how'd they hire an entire business of people without nobody knowing?
Like, who's working there? Like, You heard anybody say they got a job there? Like, where are these people coming from?
I ain't seen nobody.
I don't understand. I don't understand. Did you hear anything about like a meeting or an announcement or anything?
I saw the newspapers and the news this morning talking about the mayor's new revitalization project. But I mean, that's usually those things are just giant nothing burgers like they always are. Some real estate something will come in and grab up all the funds before they can do anything with it. But not like this.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm always worried, but I'm more worried than usual with how fast this is going and how quietly it's happening.
Right?
That's the part that's really putting me off, is how quietly everything's happening.
I mean, I don't bite my head off. Please don't bite my head off. I wouldn't suggest it if it wasn't so weird, but out here. But have you talked to Amina?
You know I haven't talked to Amina.
I mean, you may need to, or maybe Ola.
Now, we were having such a good morning, and then you just took it left.
Nisa, come on. You gotta admit, if anybody is gonna know, it's gonna be them turncoats.
But they're not gonna tell me anything that I would want to know. They're just gonna give me the bullshit company line, and I really don't need my blood pressure any higher than it already is.
This seems like the kind of thing they would talk about.
I don't know. I'll ask somebody else before I ask them. I might be able to get in touch with some of the other folks when I go out later. I'm gonna just see what the streets are saying.
All right.
You know what? It's been a minute since I've run into them, but they might know something. Yeah, and I'm gonna pull out my phone and I'm gonna open up the browser and I'm gonna navigate to like the website of the nonprofit that Romero works for and like scroll to the contact page to see if they have like staff contacts or something. And I'm gonna see if I can find a staff contact, like email address for Romero.
Absolutely. It is right there. They believe in being where the community is and where the kids are. And a lot of times that means emails. So there are emails for all staff.
Yeah, and I'm gonna just pull out an email, open up a browser, copy paste. I'll open up an email, copy paste, and I'm just gonna subject line, touching base, email, hey, I don't know if you remember me, it's been a while since we used to volunteer down with the wound care program. Just wanted to see if we could connect. There's a lot of movement in the city happening as far as this revitalization, and I just wanted to know if you had your ear to the ground, if you were kind of plugged in at all. Some of the parents are a little bit concerned. Hit me back when you have a chance, and I'm gonna drop my cell phone number into the email and send it off.
Okay. Romero, you are in office virtual Monday morning meeting, and you get an email.
I make a mental note as the meeting wraps up that I need to respond to that email, while I also eye roll because the meeting was supposed to be 30 minutes. It ended up being 45 minutes. And the person who has made demands that everybody be in the office is the only person who's actually not present in the office and is working from home that day.
Yeah, I think it's Kimmy. I think that Kimmy is one of the newer managers, and Kimmy loves the idea of everyone being in office because it's just, it's just a better vibe. And people, when we're together, we can actually synergize. But being apart, it just feels like it, gums up the energy. But I just couldn't make it today.
Sounds about right. Kinda hate it. Well, at least that's over. So I kind of, give everybody like a small kind of encouraging thing of being like, hey, y'all, hope you had a good weekend. I promise you, whether you did or you didn't, I'm not going to ask you a bunch of random questions about it and let you go about your mundane piece. Don't know where the coffee is if you need anything, but also, there's a lot going on, but remember to breathe through it. The work that we do is important, even if they refuse to fund it. And, there's like a small bit of chuckle there because everybody's like very dark humor in that. And I think that's the thing that at the office, that's what kind of has Romero bonded to everyone, is just the appropriate level of gallows humor, because everybody's together with Romero and the gallows.
Yep. So yeah, everybody who came in the office logs off of the Zoom meeting to go back to their work. And you are left with an email from someone you actually haven't talked to in a while. It's an email from Janessa. What's Janessa's last name?
Wallace.
It's an email from Janessa Wallace.
Janessa, this one's been a hot minute. Reply. Hey, yeah, I have, this morning has been a little bit weird, just a bit off to say the least. So yeah, I think there's definitely something or other to talk about around here.
There is a phone number in the email.
Currently have lunch plans? Are you free for dinner later? Send email. Scrolls down and goes, oh yeah, I could have just sent this as a text message, huh? All right, well, we'll see how she responds.
I think somewhere in the midst of helping the kids with the craft as they're getting back from snack, lunch, whatever it is, I feel my phone vibrate on the table in my canvas bag. And as I'm finished getting refilling the Mod Podge container for one of the children, I turn and I grab my phone and like one-handed open the email and scroll, and I'm looking at it. I type back out with one hand. Yeah, I could probably do a quick lunch, either super early or super late, doing the wound care shift around 7:30. Let me know what works. Feel free to text, and I'm gonna just send that off and like quickly stick my phone in my bag before any of the kids see me on my phone.
Can you just real quick roll like a TN 8 test to see if the kids somehow miss you being on your phone? Because I know you know.
They're supposed to be on our phones. We telling them not to be on their phones. It's 3D10, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
This will just be a straight roll, 3d10.
All right, I got an 8, a 6, and a 10.
You are used to this. You are seasoned. You are a pro. You type this message one-handed, no looking, having a conversation with one of these kids, helping another kid with their craft project, and you slip that phone right back in your bag without anybody noticing.
And then I'm just going to make a mental note to myself that whatever response I get is just going to have to wait until after we like dismiss the kids. Because I want to make sure I do focus on them. And then I'm going to just do a quick walk around at the other stations to make sure everybody's got everything that they need, since there's only 2 of us and there's 4 stations set up.
Absolutely. Romero, you get a email back, and before you know, it's lunchtime.
Laptop closes, and Romero heads to Maggiano's. And I think on the way there would text back to Janessa and be like, okay, so let's say dinner at 5:30. And, just hit send and then puts the phone away.
Ruin, are you the type to be early or late for this kind of meeting?
I think normally Ruin would like to be late to make a show of entering, but because this meeting does feel important to them, they're like, I think they go early.
Okay. Romero, when you walk in, you see that mysterious looking person with the big sunglasses already seated at a table.
And Ruin's kind of like in the back. You know, like probably near one of those places, like in a booth where like the light don't really work overhead, it's kind of flickering. I think that's like where they're at.
I think the light overhead isn't even on because it's a bright summer day, and so they're taking advantage of a lot of the natural lighting and just some of the general overhead lighting, saving a little bit of on expenses. After all, Maggiano's has signed on to a green city pledge, and so they are doing their best to reduce their energy costs to ensure that they recycle and use greener practices.
Hell yeah. Yeah, Ruin is sitting back there, stuffing their face, I think, with some spaghetti and like comically large meatballs. They don't need to eat human food, but it's enjoyable.
Okay. Romero, you walk in and you not only see that the person you are meeting is already seated, they are already eating a main course.
I just quietly take a seat over there. And I don't say anything because people be hungry.
That's so real. I'm like, I didn't, and they point at, they have a big ass meatball on their fork and they're pointing it at Romero. They're like, you would think because your life was in danger, you would have gotten here a little earlier. That's just my 2 pennies though.
One, it is 12:29, but two, and more importantly, what do you mean my life is in danger?
Honey, 12 days. What are we not getting?
12 days of what? Is this a movie? This isn't 28 days later. What are you talking about?
I'm not familiar with that. They wipe their mouth. They're like, look, I don't get your pop culture references.
Okay, you know something? Fair. Why don't we start over? Hi, my name is Romero. You have walked up to me today that said something that sounds vaguely ominous, and I, Romero, again, in case you forgot in that intro, have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Okay. I wish Alexis was here. She could just explain this so much better than I can.
Weren't y'all on the phone together earlier?
We were, but she gotta work. I can't, hey, it is what it is. I'll clue her in later. That's not what's important. What's important is this. I'm a demon. Surprise! Woo! Demons exist. Okay.
Oh, okay. That tracks.
Yeah. I mean, look at your world.
Do you see not one whisper of disagreement in Romero's expressions, and they're just continue?
They extreme mutual understanding. When there are levels to us, we have a sort of hierarchy, and the big boys, BOIS, the big kahunas, the archdemons, when they come through, they destroy reality. They can destroy worlds. And something about you is just so tasty to them that you have one on their way for you. That little gift that you have on your hand is your clock. That is, and it's ticking. And it's not just you, all right? It's for everybody, not just your little world. So that means I'm fucked. That person's fucked. This person's fucked. We're all fucked if we can't do something about that little clock.
Well, I can tell you, thank you. And this is a nod to the person who brings them a burger. I appreciate that this sounds like a very dire situation. Mm-hmm. This also sounds like an anime subplot. I feel like there needs to be a little bit more explanation than this. Who am I and what is even going on here? That someone would just go, hey, Hey, you traumatized person in a city of traumatized people. Let's just go ahead and make you the portal to hell. You know what I mean?
No, I get that. And I mean, it's not just you. I have a human that I, am cool with. They like squint their eyes like
Romero, the conversation is flowing, and then you get to I have a human that I'm, and there's a distinct pause, and the words cool with. You've been around enough stuff in your life and people who are bad at lying to, without needing to like really tap into anything, I'm not even gonna make you roll. That choice of words is a choice.
Okay, so if I'm following this correctly, and I think I am, what you're saying is like, hey, Big Bad Demon kind of has a low-key crush on you, and if we don't fix that problem, it's going to ruin things for everybody, which I'm guessing means that it's going to be mildly inconvenient for you.
Incredibly. Listen, you don't fucking get it, all right? I have the sweetest deal with my human right now. Things could not be better for me right now. I don't need some fuck coming in here wrecking reality and ruining what I got going on. So you fix your issue, Silent Hill style. I don't know if we need to speed run trauma therapy or what, but let's do it so this fucker doesn't get here.
So here's the problem, right? I love it's just a pizza store, but I really do love their burgers. Listen, cool story. Glad to hear that. Here's the problem. I don't know that therapy will help, right? I love and appreciate my mental health girlies and whatnot, but the problem is bureaucracy and paperwork and dealing with the police. You know what I mean? So do you know any people who can do anything about that? And maybe about something about my supervisor?
I could kill your supervisor if you want. Snatch that right on up. If that's one of the issues, come on, just let me know. The silence that Ruin is hearing from Romero and the like contemplative look, they're like, yeah? It's been a minute for me, actually.
Tell you what, if you're that eager to do it, if that really comes up, I'll let you know. But all right, so here's the deal. I feel like maybe I should just, I guess, is there information from me that you want? Is there something I should explain?
So, question for our storyteller.
Yes.
Would Ruin know like the process of stopping the archdemon from getting here?
Absolutely. You absolutely know that there have to be a number of seals around the city, and you need to break them to stop the archdemon, but they only technically need one in order to get through. So it's kind of a all or nothing sort of situation. You got 12 days to do it. More than you won't know until you do some more research and work with this particular human to know how many there might be and where they might be and what issues and obstacles you might interact. You also know that those seals are going to be protected by those faithful to whichever archdemon this is. You can also investigate and find out which archdemon it is, which will help you know a little bit more about what you might face. You also know that reality is going to slowly, day by day, start to warp as it becomes the bastion of the archdemon that is trying to awaken and come through. And so some of the things you've already seen, the quick popping up celestial monies, the luxury condos and things, those things popping up overnight, one, maybe. The quantity and the swiftness with which they happened, and the naming of a target, like, yeah, that's reality already starting to warp.
Yeah. Okay. With that information, Ruin will be like, okay, let me put it like this to you. They put down their food and kind of like slide it to the side. And they hold out like the palm of their hand, and these little orbs of like wispy, kind of colorful smoke like appear, and it'll just be like a little, it looks like an arcade token, but with Ruin's face on it, with the thumbs up again. And they're like, in order to stop this whole thing from happening, if, you know, therapy is not an option, it's not the route you're trying to go, there are these seals around the city that they need to be broken. You have to break all of them because they can come through even if there's just one. And usually there are creatures, demons most likely, protecting these seals. I mean, it's only day one, but we're already seeing some shit. I mean, have you seen the celestial monies and like the condos popping up? That's how they're just out of nowhere, out of thin air.
So today I got bitten by a demon bat. You know, I feel like I've seen a lot today.
Yeah, big day for you.
Right. So, you know, I feel like I should explain that part real quick because you did ask me about the dream stuff earlier and I didn't have time to tell you then. But I guess if this is any kind of serious, I should probably tell you now, right? Right? That's how this part goes?
I think that'd be helpful, yeah.
Right. So there was a conflict between the people that my community center helps with and the police. There was a lot of fighting. Everyone was angry at everyone, including me. A giant hole opened up and started swallowing people alive. And the bat took on the form of my manager. So again, if that like offer to just kind of slide them off of like the page of life is on the table, I might have to take you up on it. Thanks. Because I feel like my boss might actually be a demon. That would track actually.
It definitely would. Ruin agrees, not knowing your boss at all. Like, yeah, your boss could absolutely be a demon. We could find out. That's no problem.
But anyway,
even if we get rid of this demon, though, these seals,
the bat,
they gotta go.
The bat bit me, and now I have this apparently.
Yeah.
It's not even Rolex.
You know, and they could have done like a tattoo. That would have been kind of sick.
It really would have, because like, again, scarification without my consent. Who would do that? Rude. Egregious.
A demon. So, I mean,
on the note of talking to a therapist, is that actually going to help in this situation if I go to therapy?
I don't know. And I think you genuinely see like that is an honest answer. Like, they don't know. The only way I've heard of stopping this is destroying the seals. But I mean, anything's possible, right?
I suppose, but if it's not broke, let's not try to fix it. So I don't know if this is time to experiment, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So can you fight? Like, do you do magic? What's up? I don't know.
I spent a very long time hoping that people don't have to find out, and I hope to maintain that. Let's just put it that way.
People might find out real soon. You might be putting that skill to use. Dust off your boxing gloves, you know? They like pull their plate back in front of them and start eating again. Oh, you know what? You should talk to my human. She seemed to know you. Alexis?
I know Alexis. We see her like every couple of weeks or so. She helps with volunteering for our like soup kitchens and clothing drives.
Well, maybe Alexis can kind of help you a bit more with understanding the demon shit of this.
I feel like you two know each other, I guess, but why? You know what? That sounds very clearly like a thing that is not my business. Forget that I even asked. Not my business.
Heard you.
We have done too much as it is. Right, so... Right, got it. Gotta go find some seals. They look like Mario coins or whatever, I guess. We got like 11 more days before the world ends or whatever, and I should go and see a therapist at some point. Am I missing anything major here?
Ruin, the seals don't look like Mario coins. They can kind of look like anything.
Then Ruin will be like, well, hold on. Just correction. The seals can be anything.
What do you mean the seals
so
can
cute
be?
If they were me?
What do you mean they can be anything?
They could probably even be a person. Maybe they could be a TV. Maybe it's that little statue over there. They like point to some statue of like a little chef, figurine. Think big, all right? You got this. I believe in you. Call me.
Do we really have time for games? You know what? You're right. Anyway, my lunch break is over. I'm gonna go back to the office.
Hey, don't worry. I'll do some research myself of where some seals might be. I got some friends I can ask.
I'll ask about that later.
Be seeing you.
And with that, Romero and Ruin, you part ways. Romero back to your job. Ruin back to wherever Ruin happens to be going today. And that is where we will end episode 2 of Woke Mental Wellness presents Windy City Nihilism. Thank you all for listening, and don't forget to be kind to yourselves and each other. Stay hopeful. Bye. Thank you for listening to Woke Mental Wellness presents Windy City Nihilism, a 12 Inner Demons homebrew podcast. This podcast has been made possible in part thanks to a grant from Diversity Saves. Episodes are edited by Marissa Ewing of Hemlock Creek Productions. If you enjoyed this podcast, please leave a review and tell your friends. If you want to help financially, you can visit the Woke Mental Wellness Ko-Fi listed in the show notes. Take care, and remember, hope and resistance do best in community.